All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off because I'm going to share my screen. And as I mentioned earlier, I have internet issues here. We don't want to go into all that because it's frustrating today. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you folks. And what we're going to do is we're going to really talk about, how you can maximize, like what she said, maximize, how to generate leads and how to use this in agent attraction. Guys, one of my biggest agent attraction tools is KVCORE. Okay, let me repeat that because a lot of you didn't get that. One of my biggest agent attraction tools is KVCORE, because just like Tanya said, there are so many agents out there that are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month for a website, that are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month for a CRM, that are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month to Zillow, that are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month to Realtor.com. They're trying to get leads and they're literally going broke in the process. Okay. So what I'm going to teach you, you should use this to your advantage if you're doing agent attraction. Now, if you're not doing agent attraction, that's perfectly fine. This will help you sell more homes and help you get more people under contract. And keep in mind, guys, you may not be aware of this, but $1,000 down and $600 a month is what KVCORE cost the average agent. Okay? Think about that. That's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. Okay? And so agents are trying to cut back right now. Like just exactly what Tanya said, they're trying to cut back. And you know what? This is included our $85 a month, right? This is a great tool. I tell everybody it's a Ferrari and we're driving it like a Fiat. Okay. So my goal today is to help you drive your Ferrari down the road like a Ferrari, blowing past, the Corvette, right? At 150 miles an hour, right? Okay, so now.
Hey, Shannon, can I ask you a question really quickly? Can
Sure.
you let them know what KVCORE formerly was?
Yes, it was conversion. It was conversion before. And so just to let you guys know a little bit about me and why I'm here training and all this different stuff. So the original founders of conversion, one of them was a guy by the name of Ryan. He was a very, very good friend of mine. And we sat down for an entire weekend and he taught me conversion up one side and down the other. Okay. Then whenever KVCORE bought them out, he moved over to KVCORE. He stayed there for a little while. He left. I don't think he's with them anymore, but he stayed on with KVCORE for some time and he taught me more about KVCORE. And just to give you guys a little insight about me, there are three people in the entire nation that are ambassadors for KVCORE or Inside Real Estate, which is the company that owns KVCORE. There's three of them total. Okay. I am one of the three, guys. That means I am certified by the developers of the system to train on the system. Okay. Not sitting here tooting my own horn, but that's a pretty big accomplishment in my opinion. Okay. So having said that, I'm going to show you guys some best practices today. But really what I want to get started before I do best practices, I really want to know how many people that are on this call, and Tanya, will you help me monitor the chat because I'm going to be kind of doing stuff, and if you don't mind, who on this call is currently using KVCORE on a daily basis every single day? You're logging into it every single day and you're using it as your main CRM or as your main database. Just type that in the chat. Just say, I am, I'm not, let's see. I see. Okay, never mind, Tanya, I can pull this up. I am, I update contacts notes. Yes, sir. Waiting to start using.
Yeah, maybe about 4 people on here.
Okay. So now my next question is this, okay? Because I love to ask 1 through 10 questions, right? We ask our sellers all the time, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate your comfort level with KVCORE? 10 is obviously you've mastered it. 1 is you need a lot of help. Where is everyone at?
16937.
Woohoo! Love it. Love it. You might be able to teach me a thing or two. All right. So we've got kind of all over the board,
Good
right?
job, Anaya. 6.
Okay. And the last question that I have is who here has purchased their own smart number?
Ooh.
Who here has purchased their own?
One. What's a smart number?
Uh-huh.
Yep. You guys, I did not know this until we had him on the last time. And we were like, whoa, mind blown.
Yep. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I always ask this question. All right. So that's where we need to start. Okay. I'm not going to show you how to set up campaigns and all that different stuff. We don't have enough time for that today, guys. If I did this the correct way, we would be here for 2.5 hours. Okay. Nonstop. But, I do have a hard cutoff at 1. I'm sure Tanya's got, everybody's got to get back to work. Everybody's got to do what they got to do. But I will say this. Okay. Your smart number is probably one of the most important features in KVCORE. And you need to hear me out really well on this, okay? If you go over here to your name, so right there's your name in the right-hand corner. You guys see that? Okay. Right below it, if you click on that drop-down, is your smart number. Now, by default, this is going to come to you as a company smart number, okay? So let me give you an example. I don't know, is everyone on here EXP?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So EXP purchases a group of numbers for a geographical location. For instance, okay, Charlotte, North Carolina. I used to live in Charlotte, right? So Charlotte, North Carolina, they purchase a group of numbers for Charlotte, North Carolina, or they purchase actually 1 or 2 different numbers, maybe something like that. And then what happens is those numbers all get assigned to EXP, and they are round robin numbers. Let me repeat that again. They are round robin numbers. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. Okay. For example, okay. Now this here was just a toll-free number, but this will give you an idea of a lead coming in. Okay. So what happens is if you have the round robin number, only people that are in your database already that you've put in there or that have come in through your website or whatever will get responded to via that number. For example, if I message Shane and Melissa here, I hit respond, it knows that Shane and Melissa are in my database. Okay. It automatically knows that. And so it's going to respond accordingly to that person. Now, if Shane and Melissa, because they're automatically going to get text messages from this number, you got to understand KVCORE does everything for you except for make the phone calls and go on the appointments. Okay. So if Shane and Melissa were to message me, such as they did with a picture of their house, right? If they message me, then if I message them back, it's going to go to them. If I were to call them, it would go to them. If they were to call me on that number, it would go to me. Okay. But they're going to keep getting messaged from this smart number, whether I want them to or not. Okay. Now let's assume that this number is not this. Let's assume it's 828-555-1212. Okay. That's the corporate number, right? We're just going to throw it out there as a corporate number. Now, Shane has a friend named Sam, and Sam is going to sell his house. And Shane goes, my goodness, Shannon's taking such a good care of me, man. He's a fantastic agent. Sam, you got to call him. His number is 828-555-1212. When he dials that number or text messages that number, it will not go to me. You guys understand the importance of that? That lead will not go to me. Therefore, to fix that and remedy it, I need to click on Shop Marketplace. Okay. And then I need to scroll down. to Smart Number add-on, click Learn More, and add that to my KVCORE. It does cost you $27 per month, but it's $27 per month that guarantees you will not lose leads.
Ooh, that went up. Wasn't it like 19 recently?
No, it's been 27. It's been 27 for a while. It was 25 for a short period of time, but it's 27. So, but it's really important, guys, really, really important to know that, okay? Because you will be giving leads away. The other thing is you cannot use your texting feature on your phone. I mean, on your listings or whatever, right? You cannot use the call text feature if you have the corporate number, because if you do and someone else has that same code as you, then you're going to be giving out leads to those agents as well.
Wow. You know, you guys, this is the cost of doing business. I know a lot of you guys got in this business to make money, but this is a business, not a hobby. And there are certain things that you are going to need to invest in your business, like this, like signs, like business cards, cost of doing business. Exactly.
100%. 100%. So, you know what? If I were you, I would definitely invest in that $27 a month. Not only that, it'll also let you know. So for example, let's say someone does call that number, right? So right here, this person called the number. It didn't have their name, but it had their telephone number, right? This person called the number, and what it did was it automatically put them in my database, and it automatically started a campaign with them. So it's automatically going to text message them and say, hey, sorry, I missed your call, but I noticed that you were thinking about selling your house in Black Mountain. What questions can I answer for you? Something like that, right? So it's going to automatically do that. You're not going to lose those particular leads. Okay. So the last thing is, what state are you in, Tanya, or what states most people in? Are they kind of spread out everywhere?
A lot of people actually here, they're on Chris Nolan's team. So a lot of people are in Florida, but a lot of it's all over the country, California, Florida, and everything in between. Maryland.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you this, but you're gonna have to check with your state broker depending upon where you live. Florida should be fine. North Carolina is fine. South Carolina is fine. Texas is fine. Tennessee is fine. There's a lot of states, though, such as California, Oregon. I know for a fact those two, it is not okay. Maryland is not okay, from what I understand. But you can go in here to your profile, go down to your profile. Once you get your smart number, okay, click on phone, click edit, and you can set it to record all phone calls. Now, the only way this is legal is if you are in a state that is a one-party state, what they call a one-party state. And North Carolina is a one-party state. That means only one person has to know that the call is being recorded. So if I call you and I know the call is being recorded, I am well within my legal bounds in the state of North Carolina. Okay, you do not have to know that I am recording you in North Carolina. As long as I know it's legal. So that is the law in North Carolina. That's the same law in South Carolina, Tennessee, I think Georgia, Florida. I'm not 100% certain on other states. So you might want to check those. If you're in those other states, you'll have to check with your state broker and see, hey, wait a minute, just ask them, is this a one-party or a two-party recording call state? And if they ask you, say, hey, does the person have to know that we're recording this phone call, right? And they'll tell you. And if they do, then you cannot use that feature because it only notifies you. Okay, does that make sense? All right. So any questions on the smart number before we move over to Playbooks? Because I'm going to hit Playbooks. I think Playbooks is a real good thing to hit with you guys.
I have a question.
Sure.
Thank you. I put it in the chat, but I know it's not able to always be seen. So the leads that you showed, and I feel really bad. I apologize in advance because I am so stymied by KVCORE and any CRM. So the leads that you had, those were captured from other websites and transferred to through to KVCORE? Like, how did those people reach out to you about a listing or whatever?
Right. So that's what I'm going to show you actually.
Okay.
Is I'm going to show you how to generate leads through KVCORE. Now, there are other ancillary products that I use that I work in tandem with KVCORE. One of those is Listings to Leads, which is a fantastic tool. And so I have, when the leads come in, they automatically come into my KVCORE. They get set up on my semi-custom campaign that we set up for you. If you need help, if you want us to set up a buyer campaign and a seller campaign for you, we do that. We also offer all the training that's broke down into like 10 little bite-sized 10-minute modules. And I've kind of taken everything. There's like 5,000 videos for KVCORE out there. I've literally condensed it into about 10 bite-sized modules, kind of like KVCORE for dummies, if you will. And I'll kind of go over all that toward the end. You can go to kvcorebootcamp.com if you want to check that out and see what all we offer. And there is a 10% discount code on all 3 products that we offer. And that is Thrive Save 10. Thrive Save 10. It's specifically for Tanya's group. Okay.
And you guys, I will say that, focusing on lead generation, focusing on your marketing and stuff like that, like so many people do not want to get caught up with the tech. They just want it done right. And they hire Shannon, but you could watch his videos. You can watch any videos and do it on your own. So this isn't necessarily to get you guys to buy from him,
Right.
But I will tell you, the people that have been able to get their system up and running. And Chris Heller, the former CEO of Keller Williams, said that anybody that does not have a system like this, a CRM, will not be in business in the next 5 years, period.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because if you can't have something that's keeping up with people automatically and you're trying to do it all on your own, you're going to burn out very quickly. Very, very quickly. And you're going to drop the ball. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're going to drop the ball, right? We're human, right? We make mistakes. Okay. So on the dashboard, I want to show you guys. Now, we're not going to go into all this other stuff. All this stuff is in the KVCORE Bootcamp. We're not doing the bootcamp live. We're just hitting the main points of why you need to use KVCORE, what you need to do in this changing market to be able to succeed. Okay. So that's really what we're going to hit on. And if you want to know all the little intricacies, how to build campaigns and all that stuff, it's all in there in our trainings. But one of the things I recommend highly that's totally underplayed is Playbooks. Okay. If you go to Playbooks and you click on promote a new listing. Okay. Now this is huge, guys, huge. Is everything is pretty much done for you and you just follow along. So you can choose my listings, which are just your listings, company listings, my team listings, or EXP. Well, yours would say whatever state, right? EXP Florida, mine says EXP North Carolina listings, right? So I can click on that. It's going to bring up every single listing that's in EXP North Carolina, right? Or that's in my MLS, right? So 1,450 EXP listings right now, right? And so what I can do here, and now again, this is something you need to check with your state broker on, but in the state of North Carolina and South Carolina, we are allowed to promote any listing that is an EXP listing. Okay. So if I don't have a listing, I can go right in here and go, you know what? Hey, I want to promote Forest Walkway. Boom. I click start promoting and I can start promoting it. Now, the best thing to do is to send a quick text message to the agent and say, hey, you got a great looking property, listed over at such and such, Forest Walkway, right? I'd like to be able to promote that. I don't have any buyer. I don't have any listings at the time. And they're supposed to, in the state of North Carolina and South Carolina, I'm only speaking for these 2 states because that's where I'm at. They're supposed to say, okay, you know what? You're good to go. Go ahead, market that listing, no problem. Now, you may have someone that tells you not to market the listing. If they do, just cross them off your list. Don't ever market their listing again. But you may want to check with your state broker to find out, because your state broker, your state may be one of those states that says, you know what, you must have it in writing, having permission to market someone's listing, whether they're EXP or not. Okay. So again, because in North Carolina and South Carolina, the listing belongs to the brokerage, not to the agent. Okay. And so that's how we're able to do that here locally. Okay. Now, once you do that, what's going to happen is, and this was actually one of my ideas. I'm very, I talk to the president of the company of Inside Real Estate KVCORE on a regular basis. And so one of my ideas was, hey, what if we came up with matching buyers? What if there was a system out there that would allow us the ability to be able to go into our database and put a listing out there and pull up a list of all the buyers that listing would work for. How cool would that be? And listen to me, and it's now created. Okay, it's called the KVCORE Smart List. Okay, so now if you look, I've got this listing up here, right? Okay, now it's going to go through my database right here when I click that button, and it's going to pull up every single lead that would possibly work for. You guys see that? Okay. Now it's already got a text message ready to go.
Shannon, can we back up a little bit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
So it's going to go in your database. It's going to pull up all the leads that it matches. But what are the parameters of that matching? Because most people here are brand new to real estate. They've either uploaded 10 people, 100, maybe a couple 100 people, might not have tagged them properly. So can you talk about that a little bit more? Like, how does it?
It goes based off of the location, just to be totally honest with you, right? Okay. So people that have shown an interest or set up listing alerts for Mooresville or that surrounding area, right? Then it's going to pull those people automatically.
Okay, but if they have people in their database that have never showed any interest or clicked on anything,
they will not show up.
Okay.
They will not show up. So if you manually put some here, okay, here's the way. I'm going to teach you how to generate leads online. And when they go online and they come into your system, they are automatically looking at something because they went to your website and they signed up. Does that make sense? Right? Because you're pushing them to your website. If you manually put someone in the system, okay, and they have never gone to your website because you've never pushed them to your website, then the AI can't work. The AI only works based upon their browsing activity. Does that make sense?
And you guys, the only way you can push someone to your website, and he's talking about like your KVCORE website, and some of you have other websites, is if you actually use your system and send them something.
Exactly. Or you push them via social media and run ads or whatever the situation may be. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, though, there's a text message already made out, right? It's got the listing link to the property, right? There's an email already made out. Everything's done for you, right? All you got to do, guys, it's so easy. Click send. That's it. It's going to go out to everybody. Okay. You're pushing that out to everybody. So when you do manually add someone in the hashtags, I would go ahead and add in the location of their current home, because most likely they may want to stay within that area. Now, maybe they want to move it out of that area. You don't know. But if you do that, that will put them in the algorithms for that location. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So we're just going to skip this play because I don't want to market this to everyone. Now, utilize custom text code. This is great. This is fantastic if you have your own smart number. Okay. If this was 828-555-1212, like we were talking about before, and it's 228 Forest W, right, as the text code, well, here's the problem. What if 10 other EXP agents all went to this agent and said, hey, I want to promote this property? Now you're fighting with 9 other agents and the listing agent as to using the text code. Does that make sense? Okay. So make sure that you've got your own smart number, because then you can go and you can get flyers, postcards, sign writers, digital ads, newspaper ads, everything made out for this, and literally remove your cell phone. I removed my cell phone number from everything. If you are not a personal friend of mine or an agent I am trying to recruit to EXP, okay, you do not have my cell number. It just doesn't happen unless they become a client. Once they become a client, I give them my personal cell number. But if they're a lead, they're going to have this number the whole time, because this is my work number. This is my office number. Okay. And so I market it everywhere. Why? Because if I'm at a listing appointment and I miss 15 phone calls, I don't have to call back 15 different people to find out who was a lead, because nobody leaves a voicemail anymore, right? I don't have to do that. All I have to do is log into my KVCORE and go, oh, I got a new lead, right? So it just makes it a lot easier for me personally, okay?
Shannon, can I pause you for a minute? There's a
Sure.
question. He says, Gatlin says, so this only works pushing the EXP website and not our own. Does this only work with the EXP website and not their own?
I'm not sure I follow. They are they talking about a different website than KVCORE?
Yeah, like if they had like another website other than KVCORE with maybe an IDX on it. Is that what
No,
you're asking, Gatlin?
This would only work for KVCORE. This is only to push traffic to your KVCORE site. Now, wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. So if you have that code, if you have a picture of that listing and you have that code on your website and they call that code or they text that code, then yes, they would come into your KVCORE website. But you're not going to be able to generate leads any other way from that website to go directly into your KVCORE.
Unless they do like a blog post or something like that, right?
Right, exactly. With a link back to the KVCORE website, right? So it's all going to come back. It's all going to come back to they have to sign up on the KVCORE website somehow, some way, whether that's via the text code or whether that's via a link. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help? I'm not sure who answered that, asked that question. Did that answer your question?
He hasn't written back, but
okay. All right, no problem. So we'll keep moving. Property boost. This is where you pay KVCORE to do the marketing for you. So you know what? You don't have time to mess with it. Let's just boost it, right? So you click boost now, right? It's going to open up a new window. In this new window, it's basically going to give you listing, open house, price reduced and sold. It gives you an option here to display the price. I'm going to tell you right now, okay? Do not, hear me out, people. Do not display the price unless your state mandates you do that. The more information you give in an ad, the less likely they are to click that ad and become a client or become a lead. Okay? Keep that in mind. Less is more, right? Coming soon, 5-bedroom, 4-bath in Morrisville. Click to see all pictures, and that's it. That's it, right? A photo and that information. That's it. Don't put too much information in there. The more information you put about the property, the less likely they are to click on it. Okay. You can run an open house for 45 days or for $45 for 3 days, right? $60 for a week, $150 for 21 days, and $250 for 4 weeks. Okay. So again, you could pay KVCORE to do the heavy lifting for you if you don't want to run the ads. Okay. So I'm going to skip that one. Go to the digital promotion. Okay. It's automatically going to go ahead and create because you've chosen that website, right? So it's going to automatically create a squeeze page and a landing page for you. So squeeze pages, I just click on squeeze page. It's going to open up in my open up a Facebook posting tool.
And this isn't advertising. This is doing it on your own.
This is doing it on your own, right? This is not advertising. So it's the other is paying. This is doing it on your own. Okay. And you can share it on a news feed or a story that you have, your news feed or your story for your personal page. You can share it on a friend's timeline, right? If you want to share it to somebody else, like a seller or something. Guys, listen to me on this one. Share in groups. You want to belong to as many yard sale groups, trade sale groups, swap and shop groups as you possibly can. Don't over post in them, but if you do one listing a week in those groups, you should be fine. Okay. Now, some of them will kick you out if they're low numbers. So you're looking for people that, you're looking for groups that have, 10,000 or more members, probably somewhere in that range. Okay. If they've got less than that, you probably don't want to post once a week in them, because there are Karens in there that will, and I hope no one's name is Karen. Sorry, I say that. I say that all the time.
I am so offended.
I apologize up front. I am not the most politically correct person in the world, so you have to forgive me for that. However, there are people in there that will, that will ding it, right? Just like the HOA, the person over the HOA, right? They're looking for, was that trash can pulled back far enough, right? That kind of stuff, right? So they're going to do the same thing in these groups. So that's why you want to be in larger groups. Okay. You can promote an event such as, like, if you're having an open house or something like that, or you can share it on a page you manage, which is like a business page. Again, less is more. Okay.
Can I add to that just real quickly?
Sure.
You guys, so put this as your homework, go to Facebook, bring in your neighborhood or your area, and then hit groups. In Facebook, you can hit groups, and all the groups will come up, and just join all of those groups. Okay.
Absolutely.
A lot of my clients that have never paid for a lead, this is how they got started, is they were just members of groups and they posted something once a week.
Absolutely. 100%, because it's free advertising. Free. Doesn't cost you a penny. Okay. Now, when you do that, just be prepared that people will message you through Facebook Messenger. Okay. They will do that. When you post in a group, they're going to message you through Facebook Messenger. Sometimes they'll go to your website and they'll click on it, and that's great. But a lot of times they're going to send you a message and say, hey, I saw your ad on, Asheville for salebyowner.com, or, are you, is that property still available? Whatever. Right. Not .com, but, Asheville for sale by owner Facebook group, whatever it may be. Right. Landing pages. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of the landing pages. We'll get to those here in a minute. I'm not a huge fan of the landing pages on KVCORE. They are being revamped, and that's good that they're being revamped. You can also, with Craigslist, you can also install a Craigslist Chrome extension, and you can just click the button, right? And it's going to automatically post it right to Craigslist with one click, and we'll show you that here in a moment. Okay.
Want to add to that, you guys? I know Craigslist, when I heard people were generating listings and leads off of Craigslist, I almost died. I know so many people who get a lot of leads off of Craigslist.
Yep. And the funny thing is, I stopped using, I used to use Craigslist religiously back in the foreclosure days. It was huge, back 07 through 09 or something like that. Right. It was huge. And then they got to where they started, you can't do this. And so they start giving all these rules. Well, what I like about this is it'll automatically go in and post what needs to be posted. I mean, it'll automatically go in and again, it's going to give you a code to text to your smart number. So if you don't have your own smart number, you're taking a chance on losing a lead. Okay. Initiate seller report. This is great. You actually just type in an email address who you want to send the report to, and then it's going to automatically do a seller report. Let the seller know how many times people have looked at their property, what kind of interest they have, so on and so forth, simply by doing that. Okay. Then activate smart campaign. You don't have to worry about that, because if you utilize us, we set up your buyer campaign and your seller campaign for you, and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, because we actually have good ones that will get responses. Okay.
We have a quick question.
Sure.
Can we use our own work number as the smart number?
Okay, so if you go down here into this little tab right here, which is the support ticket down here in the very bottom, you can click on that and you can pay them. I want to say it's either $299 or $399 plus your $27 a month. But you can take your own number and have it ported over into your smart number if you wish to do that.
But that costs money to have it ported over?
Yes.
200, you said?
It's either 200 or 300, I believe it is.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have to do a porting of the number. That's why.
Okay.
Just like it would be just like if you went to AT&T and you wanted to keep your old phone number, you know how they charge you a fee to port it over, right? So they have to pay a fee to port it over, and they pass that charge along to you, just so you know. So
Otherwise, you pay the $27.99.
$27 a month, they assign a number and you're good to go, right? However you want to do it. Now, personally for me, I purchased an 800 number because of my recruiting, because I'm really focused on agent attraction. And so for me, I have an 800 number. My number is 844-7774-EXP. Okay. And so I have it ported over to that, so that as those leads come in, they show up in my KVCORE as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Smart CRM, we're not going to spend a lot of time in here, but this is where you can mass text, mass email, mass video message, all that stuff, people. Very, very simple to do that. Okay. You just go over here, click on your filters, and let's say I want to reach out to all my new buyer leads, right? So I'd simply hit buyer. Now I could rate them if I had them rated in their profile as 3, 4, or 5. And of course that all gets into some of the other training that we get into. Hashtags, I could hashtag them, you know, Hickory or Asheville or Charlotte or whatever, right? And I could pull up just those people. I could pull up just the ones that have a phone number. I could pull up the ones how you know, whatever time they were created in. Maybe they were created in the last 30 days or whatever. And I could simply hit apply filters. Now, when I hit apply filters here, what's going to happen is it's going to bring up all of those buyers that are new leads. Okay. And so now I simply just, and you guys can see this right here. See text buyer. So that's one of the ones that came in as a text. See, look, see those? So now they're automatically being responded to. See there? Does that make sense? You guys see that? So now I can click on this over here, right? Beside the first name, and it'll highlight all of them, maybe. Come on. And then I can mass email, mass text message, mass video message, any of them. Or I can go in here and do any of these following, you know, add task, add hashtag, all that different stuff. Okay. So that's the Smart CRM. In order for there to be, for us to get through what we need to get through, and for there to be questions at the end, I want to keep going here because we're running close on time here. Listings. If I go under listings, this is where I can go in and market listings, whether they're my listings or if they're not my listings. Okay. I can simply go in here and click on filters applied, right? And maybe I want just my listings. All is everybody, just so you know. That's Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, Century 21, doesn't matter. It's everybody. Okay. My listings are just my personal listings. Agency listings are just EXP listings. Okay. So I can go agency listings. And if I want to, I could actually put in a listing agent's name or a location. So maybe I want to market in Marion, North Carolina, right? So I'm going to say Marion, right? And then I'm just going to hit apply filters. And everybody that comes up here, by the way, everybody that's in this is all part of my organization. Okay. So all these listings that are here are all my organization. So I don't have to worry about that. I wouldn't have to ask anybody any permission whatsoever because they're mine, right? They're all under me. And so if I wanted to broadcast.
When you say they're in your organization, all those listings are in your downline. And if they're in your downline organization, they come up.
Correct. Yes.
I didn't see a designation for that or like a pull down for that.
There's not. Okay. I'm just saying I went into Marion. And so Marion, I told you, we're a very small town, right? I am the leader of EXP in this town, and there is no other EXP, right?
Okay.
So if it's an EXP listing, right, and I put in Marion, it's under me. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes. Yeah. Easy.
So, but there is no drop down for that. That is correct. There is no drop down. So it'd be nice if there was. And so here I can click on Waycaster Road. This is Steve Jones's property, right? And so I can click on it. Now, here's what I would want to do if I live somewhere other than North Carolina. I might want to text Steve and say, "Hey, Steve, got a great property on Waycaster. When, you know, can I promote it?" He says, "Sure, no problem." Right now, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click either boost property. I could send it as an email. I could do all this stuff. Emails, hashtag, text, hashtag, print a flyer, all that stuff. I can post it to Facebook, just like what I showed you, right? Click post to Facebook. It's going to come up in a little poster tool. And now I can post it, right? Again, very little information about the property, right? I would go back over here and I would say, okay, let's grab the information. Pleasant Gardens Townhome. You'll want to take a look at this one, find out how many bedrooms it is. Right, so I'm literally going to copy this part right here. And I'm going to say, this is a rare opportunity to own right here. And you want to leave them with an action word. So gives you a great, right? And then I'm going to go ... You follow me? Because a great what? What's great about it? It's a great backyard. It's a great kitchen, right? You guys follow that? Okay. Because if you copy this verbatim and you put it all in there, you've given them way too much information. They don't need you anymore. Okay. Keep that in mind. If you give too much information, you will not get the list. You will not get the leads. Okay. Also post to Twitter, right? I can post to Twitter. I can post to Pinterest. I can post to Craigslist. I simply just click post to Craigslist, take my hands completely off the computer. It goes through and does everything for me, builds out the ad, puts the photos in, boom, it's done. It's ready to go. All I got to do is simply hit publish because it's got my text code right there for more details. See that? Okay. So super simple to do that. That's how you can market to other listings. There is in the trainings in KVCORE Bootcamp, we talk about how you can utilize this direct link within Marketplace and get all kinds of free leads, but we don't have enough time to get into that today. We're going to skip over all the marketing stuff for the campaigns, smart campaigns and stuff. There's really not much to go into here. There's a lot there's a lot to go into, but we don't have time to do it all today. We are going to focus on the lead generation tools, which is Lead Engine. Okay. And this will pretty much wrap everything up for us, just so you know. The Lead Engine is basically bulk lead import. Okay. So if you've got your leads from Top Producer or whatever, right, you just download those in a CSV file. You can upload those directly into your system very easily. Lead Dropbox, right? That's if you're getting leads from like Zillow, Realtor.com, those kind of places. Now on the bulk import, just so you understand, let us handle it. Let them do it, right? Don't do it yourself. It's a nightmare to try to do it yourself. Just submit your file and let them do the work. Okay.
Does that cost money or?
No, it's free. It's free. But you do want to make sure that when you have your leads that you're sending over, that you've got them separated into the same labels that we have here in KVCORE, right? So you're going to want new, active, let's see, contract, client, closed, sphere, right? So you're going to want to have them labeled the same way, because otherwise they're going to dump them into one file and you're going to have a nightmare of a time trying to separate them. Okay. So make sure you've got them in the order you want them in KVCORE before you do that, because they will dump them in all together. And then you're going, oh, I don't know whether this, I got my sphere in with my new leads. It's a mess. Okay. Don't do that to yourself. Okay. All right. So we talked about core property boost. We talked about, we didn't talk about the listing machine. We didn't talk about, we could go back and possibly do that one. That's for the list, the CMA. It's not a CMA tool. It's actually, I'll just show you whenever we get done with this. But it's pretty cool. It's a CMA that's created. EXP is the only company that pays for this that I'm aware of. It's pretty pricey to pay for extra in KVCORE, but EXP does include this. Okay. Pitch sheet is great for sale by owners, expireds. We got a whole class on how to use that inside KVCORE Bootcamp. The call and text capture. Again, if you don't have your own smart number, do not do it. Okay. There's a whole class on that in there as well. The landing pages, very simple to build, right? You just simply go in here, open it up. You can change this around. You can make this say, instead of your town, I can make this say Marion or Asheville or Myrtle Beach, right? If I didn't have fixer-uppers, I could double click on that and they'll go away, right? I can also go into lead generation here. I can add a video down here at the bottom, right? I can put in the tags I want, the submit button text. So if I wanted to say, so see the list now, maybe it's find out more, right? And it'll automatically change it for me right down here. Okay. URL after the login, the YouTube ID, I put in the YouTube ID, and it's going to automatically, put in that video that I want from YouTube. I can require a phone number. I can change the background. There's a lot of different things I can do. I could literally make it a foreclosure if I want to do, right? I'm just not a big fan of these. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've told, this is nothing I haven't told Inside Real Estate, which is KVCORE. The landing pages are pretty weak. They're not a very good, I've ran A/B tests on them side by side. And I'll tell you right now, if you want to get bang for the buck, it's in your squeeze pages. Okay. So you go to your squeeze page, start building, right? Here you can do a market report if you want to. I'm not a big fan of the photo for market report, or the photo or the information for the seller squeeze. Like for instance, I told you in my little town that I live in, right? It says, Tanya, get this. It says our average home price is $750,000.
Oh.
Okay. Our average home price is $175,000.
Oh my.
It's a big difference. Okay. So I'm not going to run those ads here because that would make me look like an idiot. Okay. There is no way to go in and change what because what it does is it pulls everything. We've got a nice lake here with $1 million homes on the lake, but the average for our county is not what's on the lake. Do you follow me? Right. So now what it's doing is it's pulling the $175,000 homes, but it's also pulling the $1.5 million waterfront homes. Right. And so it's throwing in there and it's saying, oh, average price is $750,000. No, it's not. Right. And so unfortunately, that's one of those things that I fight with on the seller squeeze and the market report. The market report, I'm not a big fan of the picture. We don't have like Cape Cod style homes where I live. A lot of that's like New England area, right? And so it puts one of those in there as the photo, and it doesn't represent my area very well. So I don't use those. Okay. But you're welcome to use them if you want to. Single property is if you have your own listing, you can just go in here and start typing in, or if you know a listing, right? I want to market this, right? Some Cosby Road. I'm simply just going to put it in there, right? And it has to auto-populate. So it didn't auto-populate. If I make it auto-populate, right? Okay. Then I can go in here, source, and I can put in, I like to put in SM for social media. You can put in Facebook or Instagram or whatever you want to do, right? And then put in your hashtags. So I like my hashtags to be the same on, and I'll explain that here in the multi-property squeeze page. And then I always give them 2 views before they have to register. Okay. Here's where the bulk of your business is going to come from, is multi-property. Okay. So in multi-property, I go in here and I choose a location. Let's choose Marion, for example. I don't want Marion, North Carolina. Okay. Now I'm going to choose a listing type. I'm going to choose coming soon and just listed where our single family, not just listed, single family. So I want coming soon, single family. Okay. Now I'm going to leave style, price range, square footage, acreage, all that, beds, baths, all that empty. But here under options at the bottom right here, okay, under options, this is what page do I want them to go to. So maybe I want them to go check out just listed properties in Marion, right? Maybe I want just listed on the water properties in Marion. I could do that. Just listed with a basement, just listed with a fireplace, whatever the situation may be, right? So source, I'm going to go ahead and put in SM for social media. Hashtags, I'm going to make those the same. So I want Marion, okay? And then I'm going to want, but I need to do both, hashtag Marion, no hashtag Marion. And then here I want to put down just listed. Okay. It has to be all together, one word. All right. So now I've got those 2 hashtags. I'm going to choose my Facebook cover photo. I choose the top one. This is legal in North and South Carolina. Please check with your broker to find out if it is legal in your area. What it is basically, it is going to take the last listed property that was listed on the market, and it's going to market that home. It's not going to market the address. It's not going to market the price. That's why it's legal in my state. It may not be legal in your state. You may have to use a listing from inside of your company within your agency. Okay. I like to give them 2 views. So I'm going to generate the link.
Do they need to ask permission from the listing agent?
Well, so that's why I'm saying on here, we're not advertising the price and we're not advertising the address. So in my state, that's legal because I'm only using a photo. I'm not using that listing. Does that make sense? Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Right. I'm using a photo of the last listed property. Okay. So in my state, that's perfectly fine. In lots of states across the country, they cannot do this because the listing may be Keller Williams, the listing may be Coldwell Banker, the listing may be ERA, right? So then they recommend that you use one of these from your own agency. Okay, so check with your state broker on that. Okay, that's why I ask where everybody is from, because that makes a difference in some of the conversations we have. Okay, let me go here. Let me go into my business page. Give me just a moment. Come on, hold on. Oh, go away, people. Come on. All right, let me go into my business page here. Let's see profiles. Gosh, I got so many pages. There we go. All right, so I'm going into my business page, celebrity page, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and so now I'm going to go over to my profile here, and I'm simply going. So I copied that. I'm simply just going to type in what's on your mind. I'm going to say, looking for a new home in the Marion, NC area for Christmas this year, right? And then I can just paste that link in, right? And it's going to bring up the last listed property, whatever that last listed property is. Okay. All right. And so now it's ready to go. All I simply have to do is click post. Okay. Now, once I've posted it, I can then share it to all those groups that we were talking about, right? Maybe I want to share it into a yard sale group, trade sale group, whatever the situation may be. Okay. So I simply just click share and share away. Or I can boost the property simply by clicking boost property. Okay. And some of you may have already boosted property, so you probably already know, but if you haven't, I like to leave this on automatic optimization. I just leave that checked. Okay. I don't do anything for labels here. Under button, I'm going to make that learn more. I don't like sign up. It makes it sound too salesy, too sleazy, in my opinion. Okay. Contact form. I don't want contact form. I want website. Special ad category. I must choose housing or they will get me for fair housing. Okay. And then audience. I go in here and I choose my audience. So I want this to be in Marion. I'm going to click on the little pencil, right? I cannot change between men and women and age any longer. That is discrimination. They will not allow it. Okay. So now I go into locations and I'm going to type in Marion, right? And I'm looking for Marion, North Carolina. Okay. All right. And then plus a 15-mile radius is good. It gives me my reach. I'm going to hit save audience. And as soon as I hit save audience, it's going to pop up right here. Okay. Then I go down and I choose how many days I want to run it. When do I want it to start? Now it's going to recommend $5 per day. It will allow you to run it at $1. I think it's $1 a day, unless they've changed it. Let's see, a budget for that is recommended. It says recommended. See there? They want you to think that it's not going to get approved. You see that? Right? But you can actually run it at $1 a day. Okay. I would run it at least $2 or $3 a day or more. Okay. You can do whatever you want to. You can run it $1 a day. A lot of times I'll run $1 a day and I'll switch them up every week. Right. And then you simply just hit boost post now, and it's going to be off to the races. Okay. So that's what you're going to do to generate the leads to get them in. The last thing I'm going to show you is this, and we're almost out of time here. And you know what? Then let's go ahead and call it for now. Because the other is going to take a little bit longer to go through. Okay. Well, here's what I can tell you. If you guys go to kvcorebootcamp.com, okay, You can get signed up here. The 3 different packages, 97, 197, and 347. Okay. We do a ton of different stuff. We customize your website, website settings, not customize your website itself. We showcase the areas. We link your social media. We put the open house value widgets, the home value widgets, all that stuff there. If you use the code ThriveSave10, it will save you 10% off of any of these packages.
Those are so reasonable. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Tanya.
Awesome. I try to make them as reasonable as possible because I want everybody, including brand new agents, to be able to do this. And I do have to pay people to do it myself. So people say, can you do it for free? No, I can't do it for free because I have to pay people to do it. Right.
Shannon, thank you so much. We can talk a little bit more. You guys, I send a lot of our new agents to him, and I just appreciate your time, your knowledge. And this is the magic bullet for you guys to get business without paying for leads. Reach out to Shannon. Shannon Pyatt is on Workplace.
Yes.
Okay. Please do not inundate him with crazy questions if you're not going to actually look at the videos and do the work, because Shannon is a very busy guy and that's why he has a boot camp.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time today, guys. Thank you, Tanya.